Hello everyone and welcome back to another Scoot's VOD Reviews. I'm your host, Scott Scoot Belmont, and tonight we're going to be covering CLG versus TSM Game 5. Now, obviously, you can tell I'm a CLG fan. Although my jersey says double lift, I'm a fan of CLG. Now, the series was fantastic, back and forth the entire time. I mean, starting from Game 1, I knew I just had to start drinking because holy crap, this game was going to give me nightmares. But in the end, CLG eventually pulled it out, back-to-back champions. Congratulations to them. The shout out to Nian Tanso brought a tear to my eye. And, well, let's just get right into the VOD review. Today was wild when it comes to finals. OG lost out to G2. G2, the rookies coming in. They finally won in Game 4. And then CLG versus TSM. Complete insanity back and forth. Like, Jesus Christ. This is one of the best series I have ever watched. And I wish I got to see this at Madison Square Garden. But I didn't. I watched it on my computer. And I still had a lot of fun. So the bans are coming out. Azir, something CLG banned out the entire series. They obviously didn't want to see it. They knew that Huhi probably couldn't play it to the top potential, and, well, they didn't want it. Maokai, they saw how much of a monster Haunster was on it, and banning that out the entire series once again, super smart move in my opinion. Nidalee, Svenskeren did get his hands on it, and it was a force to be reckoned with. Nidalee, a smart ban here, and historically, it'll work out. TSM, Soraka, Ryze, and Poppy. Now, the Soraka and Ryze have been banned out once again, entire series. They don't want to see Huhi going insane on that with another double teleport to end the game. And they do not want Soraka because they probably either don't know how to play against it that well, or it's just cheesy enough that it's worth banning Soraka instead of Bard, because Aphromoo has proven himself through this series that Bard is one of his top champions. Poppy, though, one of those picks that they could have taken away themselves, and instead they might have been able to ban Echo or something along those lines, but I'm not disagreeing with the Poppy ban. I just think there might have been better options because they also could have taken Poppy. In the last game, they had banned Kindred, which they are going to take this game. I agree with that. Taking that away from Xmithy is pretty smart. Echo getting picked for Darshan. We don't know if that's going to be for Darshan. Huhi has played it earlier in this series. It could be a flex pick, but it's still up in the air. Echo is just a super strong pick right now. They don't know where it's going, so they're going for safe picks. They want to counter pick later, so they're picking the Caitlyn away from Stixxay, who played it in the first two games and dominated for the most part, and Svenskeren taking away, again, the Kindred. Make sure Xmithy can't do anything with that. His Kindred in game 1 was pretty nasty. Taking that away, Svenskeren can play it really well as well. So they're not showing too much of their hand. They're just taking away these picks, and they are power picks for these two teams. Now, CLG, I'm just going to skip ahead, or try to at least. Takes them a while to do their picks, but they eventually come to Elise and Alistar. Now, Elise, I don't 100% agree with. I just don't think she's the best jungler at the moment. That could have been a Gragas pick, but this kind of signals that CLG want to go for more of an early game to mid game pick comp. And with Alistar bringing up the rear, it'll be a very aggressive mid lane. I mean, not mid lane, bot lane. Sorry about that. TSM, however, want to counter pick, and I don't know why this muted itself. But this is when they pick the Haunster Gragas, which he succeeded on in the last game, and the Yellow Star Braum. Braum Obviously, a good choice to protect the two ADCs you already have. TSM going for disengage against CLG's pick slash teamfight comp because that Echo is really good at teamfighting. And Stixay hovering Warwick in almost every single game. And now it's raising the volume. Takes them a while to do their picks as well, but this is when they lock in Tristana and Lulu. Obviously, a huge pick in terms of like late game hyper carry because Tristana is the classic late game, and alongside Lulu, that's gonna make for a super scary late game because Lulu will just give Stixay the buffs. Stixay will run and jump around like insanity, and that disengage won't mean anything because Stixay is going to be auto attacking from so far away that front line. The front line of Gragas and Braum. And then TSM follow up with more poke in getting Corki. So they have AD poke and long range siege with that Caitlyn. And they also have some long range poke in AP damage with that Corki, which I think that's a pretty solid pick. It's a triple ADC comp with a good amount of disengage, so they do have the capacity to kite backwards. But CLG, their kiting is infinitely better thanks to that Lulu Tristana. So even if the front line does seem to pose a threat, they have disengage maneuvers for them. Their front line is, I would say, at some points bigger as well because Elise generally builds tank after the first item. And although she's not the biggest tank or the best tank, she has Alistar alongside her. So Alistar ultimate cleanses anything and everything off of him. Then he gets something like 70% damage reduction. That is a super beefy front line, super scary, and even against a Gragas, it can't compete. So CLG has a slightly tankier front line, as well as a better hyper carry for their back line. And then the support from Lulu, which a smart pick to take that away from Bjergsen. Bjergsen has succeeded on that in the past two games. I think it was in Game 3 and Game 4. I know it was Game 4. But Bjergsen played it, taking that away from Bjergsen. A smart move considering Lulu Caitlyn is also a super powerful combo. Instead, they forced TSM to spec into poke. And honestly, this could have gone either way. Starts off pretty slow, 5 point for every team. Just general bullshittery going on the front lines, the line of scrimmage. Nothing really of note happening. It looks like they both try to go for a blind lane swap because neither team got deep wards. Neither team knows where the ADC supports are going until they make it to that top lane. Watch. Right here they know TSM's bot lane is in the top side. Whether or not CLG wants that, I can't really say. But TSM, he invades looking for the interrupt on the Xmithy invade like a support normally would. Just hoping that they got the lane swap, but it looks like they didn't. So CLG and CLG. I think this is what they wanted. Early game Tristana it's not abysmal. Same thing with Caitlyn. They're both obviously game carries. Caitlyn's, they say she dips in the mid game. I don't think so, especially with more recent builds like Hurricane that can come out. Kind of the same thing with Tristana. Obvious mid game dip. Both of these champions, not very good early, mid. Late game, they would take off. So I'm not sure which team wanted the lane swap to begin with, but CLG matched it. They knew who was going to be in top, and they're confident they can take this matchup. I think they also wanted Darshan to play against Haunter because they felt, Echo into a tank is a winning lane. And that has held true in almost every single region. And right here is the first blood play. I mean, that was really hard to see coming. I honestly would not have known that the gank was coming. Like, we move back. I mean, Elise's jungle path started bot side. So they can deduce, Elise might gank top soon. But she skips over 2 camps in order to move up towards that top lane. Just sitting right out of range. You can kind of see it on the minimap. And then Aphromoo flashes in, and then just so much damage. Yellow Star doesn't even bother using any summoner spells because he knows he's dead. So super smart play from CLG. They kind of got, like, they jumped the gun, kind of. Because Kindred is still in the jungle. Kindred, not in any position to gank in the first place. And I think TSM's bot lane, or rather double lift in Yellow Star, thought, this is about where Xmithy is going to be. Xmithy had not done an early gank like this all series. And right here, it's the Q flash. So Yellow Star didn't have any time to react. Easy first blood. Flash for flash for flash. Svenskeren does go down here. Really good map awareness by Darshan. Let me just look at the mini map before that. Darshan. Oh, that was the replay. So Darshan was already headed towards that Krugs. Let's see, that's the replay. And then, yeah, Darshan just pads up because I think they kind of anticipated that. They don't have any wards. Like, if we look at... Let's see. This is before... No, this is the replay. So if we look before the replay, they do have a ward on Kindred right there. You can see it right as Kindred is invading those Raptors, which is why Darshan rotates up to catch the Svenskeren. Super good awareness from CLG. They saw that the mark was on the Raptors, so Huhi placed a ward there. You can see it on the minimap right here. When they saw Svenskeren counter jungling that, Darshan was at about this inner turret, so he moved up towards the jungle for the counter gank. Super smart play by CLG. Really good awareness. I mean, Svenskeren had no reason to believe it was warded. And, well, because of the replay, I don't know whether or not he smited those Raptors so you could even see if there was a ward. But, I mean, it's not like it was a super dangerous play to go counter jungle Raptors. It was an alright call, and they just got caught out by the CLG ward. That was more of a smart play by CLG than it was a dumb one by TSM. Let's see. Lanes more or less go back to normal. There are double wards from CLG. Oh, never mind. Single wards on CLG on Dragon. I think that's the Rift Herald. Rift Scuttler. Gonna skip ahead a little bit. Nothing much going on right here. Doing jungle camps. Xmithy, I think, is gonna counter jungle, or look for the counter jungle right here. See, his Raptors are gone. Aphromoo sees Yellow Star at the red buff. Now they see a red buff is gone. And they don't have vision of Xmithy here, so they don't see Xmithy walk into the jungle. Aphromoo walks up, gets the Q. Yellow Star had no idea the entire time that Xmithy was there, so kind of panic exhausts. Thinks there might be follow-up, but Tristana was seen in top, and Lulu was seen in mid. There was really no reason to use that exhaust. It's a small misplay from Yellow Star. Xmithy still sticks around, though. They know he's still there. Smartly, TSM backs off the turret. They know they can't survive this dive because there is a lot of just stackable CC. The knockback from Aphromoo, and if it's into the wall, he can just immediately follow that up with a knockup. stun from Elise, and then just so much damage coming out from that Tristana. They back off the tower smartly. TSM invades the bot side in retaliation, but Zion, or rather Darshan, knows it was there, so he smartly backs off as well. He doesn't know that Kindred is gone yet, so yeah, he scouts over the wall with that ward, sees, alright, Kindred is gone, and then goes back to farming. CLG's top lane, they just get this tower. Smart. Just good map movements overall from CLG. They're not exactly outplaying TSM, they're just kind of catching them off guard. Like, especially in this play coming up right now. Just watch this. Jump in on the double lift, and they burn the double teleport top lane to get that kill, as well as the yellow star kill. Now, Xmithy was already in the area, so they didn't need to expend so many teleports for that. And there is some free damage that's going to go on to that mid tower. But I think this is a pretty, like, okay-ish trade from CLG. It's not the best because they lose some damage and pressure bot and mid lane. They just got 2 free kills. They didn't even try to push the top lane turret. The red buff is up. They didn't even try to counter jungle that. Like, double lift stunned up by Xmithy. The damage, it could have been finished off by Stixay, honestly. They didn't need both teleports to come into that. But obviously they thought, you know, it's early game. Let's just get as big of an advantage as we possibly can. It's not a bad call. It's just they didn't need to expend so many resources. TSM, they realized they didn't really lose much aside from 2 kills. So they just go back to farming. Well, everyone goes back to farming. The 3-0 Darshan is pretty scary at this point. And I think, like, that's the biggest threat to TSM right now. Yeah, he's been out farming Haunter, and with those teleports, he has more kills than Haunter. So, Haunter obviously falling behind. He doesn't have a tower to cower under in case he gets ganked. Pink Ward knows where Kindred is. I'm pretty sure Kindred walked past that earlier. They spot Kindred right now again. So they know Kindred is headed towards mid. Bot lane is not under any pressure. CLG doing alright for themselves. Like, that was a really explosive start, but it wasn't like anything to get too excited about. It's only a 1.5k gold lead. Dragon is still up. Rift Herald is still up. None of those neutral objectives were taken. CLG only got kills. They didn't even go for the Rift Herald when they got the 5 people top lane, which is kind of dumb. The neutral objective is up. Why not go for it? I mean, you just lose a little bit of damage onto the towers. But, you know?
Once he completes his Devour, looking to get kills and stack up the Devour that way would be TSM's best.
Yeah, I mean, Sascaron's got a 2-level lead over Smithy.
It slows down a little bit. And actually right now is when CLG sets up for Dragon. They kind of have wards around it. Yellow Star just warded behind the Dragon Pit. They don't know exactly where Xmithy is, but they know he didn't jump into Dragon yet, so they're okay for now. There are 2 pink wards in CLG's own jungle, so they'll know if they ever get counter jungled, and they'll know if anyone takes any weird routes. So, although that's not maximum potential you can get out of vision, it's like okay at best. And Sven and Yellow Star walked over wards to get to this dragon and they go unpunished. It's pretty sloppy from CLG. Let's just see when this happens. Moving back in time now. So Svenskeren gets this Gromp. This was a little bit after Yellow Star actually warded behind the Dragon Pit.
TSM with 2 tanks in the front.
And Svenskeren, and they don't have vision of Xmithy. They don't know where he is. They just know he's not directly threatening the dragon.
Yellow Star's 0-2. Haunter
They know Svenskeren is in the pit,
1-star Sean.
but they don't do anything about it. They just
Really
Aframu went back already.
back in the game.
Xmithy is just moving towards his Krugs for whatever reason.
Will definitely help.
And he's actually pinged out at his Krugs too. So TSM has full knowledge of what Xmithy is doing. They knew that that was a super safe dragon, and they just took it. A really good play from TSM right there. They don't know, however, if CLG
Damage that goes on top of sticks. They
has a spider in the bush in bot lane.
tilted towards being magic.
Xmithy,
A little easier.
actually, they just pinged him out. He walked past that bush in the river, but I mean, he shows himself anyway. They just want to get as much damage down onto this tower as possible. They already have the top lane pushing in, so Haunter won't be able to TP in to help them out. And even if he wanted to, Darshan could cancel it. So, really good to take advantage of the fact that CLG has more numbers in bot.
So quickly, and it's because they always have the proper
Svenskeren caught off in the top side.
30 CS, but it's winning them the game in a meta where
He's going to be able to get that stack, though.
Xmithy has kind of flipped the script once
So not too bad for him.
really camped a lane, but because his ganks have been successful, you see why people used to do that style.
The Rift Herald still stands. And honestly, I don't know why. Like, they didn't have Vision of Darshan for a little while. Like, if we look at this while Kindred is taking this Scuttler,
Always have the proper jump,
they have no idea where Darshan is. He could have gone back for all they know.
and it's because they always
They,
game in a meta where
let's see, Lulu just went back. Do they have vision of that? They don't know that Lulu just went back either.
the proper jungle pressure with
So they have two people that are missing. They don't know where they are. This Rift Herald could have been done because they did just see Xmithy in the bot lane. Rift Herald continues to stand, although TSM has the numbers advantage. So I don't know why they didn't even try for that. That's kind of weird.
We'll see how much more CLG can get out of this one. Pink wards once again added to their inventories as who he is down a bit.
It's possible that they thought, Zion is still in the area and he has 3 kills, so let's not try to force anything on his side of the map. But still, that's kind of a cowardly way to play. I don't fully agree with that. And now Xmithy is checking out the pit. I mean, that's going to be a free Rift Herald. Look at those wards. CLG knows that there is no Svenskeren around here. So this is going to be a free Rift Herald. Aframu went back earlier and they don't know where he is, so now he's doing Rift Herald. Darshan helped out a little bit. This is really good from CLG to take advantage of TSM's, I want to say, cowardly play. They just didn't go for the advantage that they had. Svenskeren getting damage down with the Afro. I mean, I'm just watching the mini-map. I'm not even watching, like, the big part. That's where everything goes down. You just watch the movements on the mini-map. Like, right now, CLG kind of spots out the Corki rotating towards mid. They know it's coming, so they back off. Darshan knows that everyone is towards mid, so he just keeps putting on the aggression top. He's keeping that advantage over Haunter. I mean, farm is evened out, so it's not that big. But CLG is doing really well with their vision game. The ward that spotted out Bjergsen earlier died. Stixay has his Junsus.
Yeah, 18 stacks now on Devourer, 2 stacks for Mark of the Kindred.
definitely still farming hard. Like CLG can
And it all kind of slows down again.
gets his hurricane
Looks like TSM is backing off that mid turret.
power, who he on 2 items, sticks on
Yeah, they have traps set up. It's the bot. It's both bot lanes in this mid lane. CLG can push it harder than TSM can, especially with that Junsu's, but those traps prevent them from really doing anything major. Like, they're out of range right there. A little bit of damage put down on the turret. The CLG trying to do the best that they can. They brought down Darshan for a little more pressure because he pushed Haunter in. So Haunter has to push that out, and it gives Darshan enough time to just roam back up top. Uhi is in that bot lane right now. It looks like CLG is doing some sort of modified 1-3-1. TSM matches it, so they put Corki in that bot lane as well. He doesn't have teleport though. I think he still has the package on him though. So if Lulu does teleport, he has one interrupt. But if he can't make it to interrupt, then he doesn't have enough to get to the fight that Lulu's teleporting to. Never mind, the package just went down. And now it is Corki and Yellow Star in the mid lane, which is still an ADC support combo. So they still have effectively a bot lane in mid, clearing the wave. They have nobody bot. A lot of pings going down. I think they're just pinging out Stixay. Let's see, Corki and Braum rotating bot. They think they might be able to catch out Huhi here, and they think they have it. Ultimates come out, and yeah, that's a kill. So really good of Yellow Star to hold on before these teleports come in. Really good of Yellow Star to stay in the jungle, and Corki to show himself. So they think, oh, he's just coming to match the 1-3-1, but then he moves back, realizes Huhi realizes he's caught out. And actually, this is a kind of late teleport from Darshan. If we move back, Darshan has had his teleport the entire time. He didn't have anything close to teleport to, though, except for maybe the wards that are currently south of Huhi. Now, there are minions up there, north of Bjergsen and Yellow Star. And Darshan kind of sits on it, like, are we going to force a fight here? Are we going to do something here? Xmithy not in a position to save Huhi. The bot lane not in a position to save Huhi. But here comes the teleport. Xmithy gets pinged out right here. They know Xmithy is coming. And at this moment, they can also see the teleport incoming. So they know, let's finish off Huhi, and then let's turn it on them. But they also see Alistar rotating there. I'm just watching Svenskeren. Svenskeren follows it down, and a teleport is coming in from Gragas at the same time to try to match this Zion Spartan teleport. But in all honesty, it is really late. Zion has already gotten here. And although this is a great spot to teleport into to save the rest of his team, it is still super late. Now, he comes in, stuns up Darshan. Kindred is still way out of the fight. Tristana, still way out of the fight. Double Lift is like a million miles away. Like, Jesus Christ. So, I don't know why Bjergsen and Yellow Star continue running south. Like, they should... Right here. The teleport is here. They should turn it right now. They should be turning it right now on Zion. That is a free kill. But they don't. They continue running south. Darshan doesn't really care about what's happening right here. He just continues walking through. He knows that Xmithy is coming in on the flank. And he forces, like Zion, Darshan himself, forces these two downwards. So really, like, I honestly don't know what their communication was. But Bjergsen and Yellow Star, the only thing they should have said was, turn it on Darshan. Because, if we once again look back, Darshan is in the middle of two people, a teleport that is going to happen, and a Kindred and Double Lift who are coming. Now, they don't know that Xmithy went the long way around, and they might think Xmithy took the path up to the Tribrush right up here. Even so, they still outnumber massively. So I have no idea why Yellow Star and Bjergsen ran bot or continued running south when they should have just turned around. It would have been an easy kill onto Darshan, but then the team fight breaks out, and let's just watch this play out. They eventually do get the kill on Darshan. Misplay from CLG. I mean, it should have been a better play from TSM. It could have been a better play from TSM, but it still ended the same. So, I don't know what to say about that. Right now, they get a little greedy, try to take the turret. They do retreat. They bait out the teleport. Yeah, that was just... It was a good play from TSM that could have been a lot better and a lot cleaner. Also, I have no idea why they don't contest this. They just give up a free dragon to CLG. That's just really dumb. TSM should not let that go. And now we're going to get a replay of everything wrong that I just explained. Seriously. Like, right here, they should just turn it on Darshan. He is alone. He is all alone. And they wait so long to turn it. TSM, please. That was a free kill on Darshan. That was a bad, that was an okay ultimate from Darshan. He misplays there. He ends up dying, which he should have done in the first place. Like, in Korea, that would have been punished a lot harder. The teleport from Haunter would have come out a lot sooner. They would have turned it onto Zion. Zion would have been completely caught out. That would have been the end of it. And then basically the same thing would have happened. It just took a little longer than it should have. Let's see, 3 people, 4 people mid, 2 CLGs converging for. So TSM, they don't want to take a fight. They're just... That's a wasted ult from Yellow Star. That was a pretty dumb... Let's just watch this fight play out. Because I don't think anything comes from it. No, nothing comes from it. So, it starts off with... They think they catch out Huhi right here. Huhi goes in on Yellow Star a bit. Gets a little greedy. Yellow Star ultimate's right there. Honestly... have no idea why Yellow Star would ultimate towards the Huhi when there is a collapsing Stixay and Afromu from the same side. They don't have vision of Elise, but he tries to continue the pick onto the Lulu, who still has ultimate. Why would you try to kill someone who is anti-death? When you can turn it back on a Stixay, you have Kindred over the wall, right here, who can jump over it and take advantage of the knocked up Stixay, get a little more damage down. Caitlyn is also in this area, get the damage down through the ultimate on Caitlyn, onto Stixay. They could have turned it right back onto here and gotten a free kill onto this, like, 2/3 health Tristana. But they continue to focus down Huhi. They tunnel vision on the Lulu. And unfortunately, this double-faced Tristana escapes, recognizes the danger that could have been posed, and Svenskeren dealing damage to Afro. Bjergsen does Valk over the wall to get more damage onto Huhi, but Huhi still has ultimate! That, and now he realizes, shit, Xmithy is here, because they didn't have vision of Xmithy walking through the mid lane because the minions were too far away. So, Xmithy shows up right next to Bjergsen, who is now saying, fuck. He tries to run away, gets polymorphed, and Stix A already super low. Aframu already used ultimate. TSM could legitimately take this fight. But it's all kind of disengaged. CLG takes a smart way out. They run away. Darshan walks through the lane. Haunter does his Haunter thing. And overall, that could have been a better play from TSM. Sloppy from CLG. Like, kind of dumb positioning from CLG. TSM, It's an okay play. Let's see. Dodge out the stun, take the turret, and that's just... I don't know why Doublelift didn't try to anti-siege that. Like, why did Gragas... Oh, Gragas left for bot lane because there was a wave building up. Doublelift probably was afraid of the dive, so and he was out of mana. He still has flash and heal though, so he could have stuck around. But they just give up this turret basically. So yeah, a lot of pressure being put down by CLG because of the bot lane pressure. And why is Bjergsen in the top lane? Bjergsen rotates top to take care of the minions. So, super smart wave control from CLG. Just like backtracking a little bit. CLG pushed top and bot, forced Bjergsen and Haunter to go clear them, then just took mid right there. So, really good map control from CLG right there. Although Bjergsen stayed in that top lane a little too long for my liking. Like, I understand Haunter not being there completely. But Bjergsen spent too much time trying to push out that top lane. And I feel like he could have saved that mid turret. But that's just me.
Got a little bit before then. The triple marksman in the fight is very respectful DPS. Respectable DPS. Oh, for sure. So CLG would need some pretty good initiations.
It slows down.
The setup and he's going for it.
Rise, Cocoon.
They're just moving around the map. Look at all of these wards from CLG. Baron is up. Dragon should be up in about 5 minutes. Not sure if they just took it or not because I'm skipping ahead.
Mercurial scimitar on every single one of their marksmen.
Nothing major happening.
So heavily slanted towards magic for CLG when CLG wouldn't team.
Just like 1-3-1 stuff.
You're at 1/3 and it hard. We'll see if anything more can happen. Maybe the next dragon is
Still more 1-3-1 stuff. CLG putting on a lot of pressure across the map. Stix A has 2 items, so he's basically late game right now. I remember back in the day when late game Tristana was Infinity Edge Phantom Dancer. IEPD equals late game Tristana. Now it's Junsu's Hurricane. How the times have changed. Still, nothing really going on. Just a lot of pressure from CLG. They're playing this really well. They have the advantage by 2,000 gold. Doublelift is really good on this anti-siege because of those traps. If anyone steps on them, that is a headshot, possibly crit coming out. Haunter losing this duel. Guess I'm trying to collapse onto Afro, but they can't. TSM trying to counter the pressure that CLG is putting out, but they really can't. Like, the pushing power from a Jinsu's Tristana is just so much more than a Caitlyn. It's really hard to push against a Jinsu's Tristana. Tristana. Jesus Christ, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But you know what I mean, right? Anyway, it's really hard to push against this Tristana, so CLG is going to be on the advantage on the 3 part. The 2 1s, I mean, top lane is in Echo's favor, Darshan's favor. Haunter can't really trade back and forth with that. Yellow Star gets caught out here. That's not going to be a kill. Let's see what led up to that. Dragon is spawned. CLG clears out the ward. Yellow Star puts down another one. And then Avramu just goes in. The follow-up from Xmithy and Stixay were really fast. So I don't blame Yellow Star for doing that. Like, I've been caught off guard like that before. And Darshan trying from the top side. Going on Haunter, he can't use his disengage at like 100% effectiveness. Has to use it on himself. Let me just go back through this. So it looks like, yeah, Darshan has the flank on the top side. Tries to go on double lift. Haunter comes in obviously to interrupt that. Svenskeren putting down a decent amount of damage. Svenskeren fears for his own life from the Stixay. Hops over the wall. And then the ultimate from Tristana pushes him even further away, leaving Haunter alone to deal with Darshan and Stixay. Bjergsen, Double, and Yellow Star are effectively out of the fight. Haunter gets focused down, has to ult on top of himself, gets out. So this should be a free dragon for CLG. CLG elects to keep pushing. They send Echo and Xmithy to do the dragon. So yeah, it's going to be a free dragon for CLG. Afro, Stixay, and Huhi try a Fnatic brush, but they get spotted out. Dragon goes over. TSM has 0 wards on the CLG side. CLG has like 3 wards on the TSM side. Neither team really wants to fight each other at this moment because they don't know where the other is. After taking the dragon, CLG has to rotate back through their own jungle. TSM cannot take advantage of that, and they cannot take that middle tower because that Stixay wave clear is just super duper strong. Like, Jesus Christ. Alright, slows back down again. Notice the bot wave. Darshan has to go clear that. The top wave is really big too. Bjergsen is going to go clear that. Skipping ahead a little bit. A few more wards put down from CLG's side. No real deep vision coming out from either side except for that one ward right here from CLG. So they know they know where Kindred is right now. They know they can still go aggressive because they have the numbers advantage. Echo and Gragas slugging it out in bot lane still. It's a sensitive situation. It's 4v4 mid. Corki and Double Lift are trying to put down as much poke as humanly possible. Their wave clear is really good and their anti-siege is amazing. So TSM safe under their own turrets for the most part. Gragas went back. Still 4-manning in the mid lane. Echo pushing bot. Haunter is going to have teleport very soon. So he's not going to mind pushing against that Echo. I'm just going down on Stixay. Stixay going back. Top wave being cleared by Lulu. Spreading out, getting wards down around the Baron. Gragas pushing bot lane. Not exactly catching out the Caitlyn. Split push Bjergsen gets a tower. There's still 4 people in the mid lane. Xmithy making the path towards mid a little more difficult, but he retreats, which lets TSM successfully defend the mid tower. Alright, Gragas, Echo still going at it. Still 4v4 mid. CLG, they can't really siege this because of those traps. It's super difficult too. Lots of wave clear too. It's really hard to siege. CLG having a tough time with this. No wonder this game was like 45 minutes. CLG decides, let's pressure Baron.
Giant fight could decide the whole game.
But they spread out again.
Is Rageblade Tristana actually good?
Top lane looks like it's gonna push again.
It's gonna be a good test.
Decent amount of wards down from both sides.
CLG is
Rift Scuttler.
map.
Looks like, yeah, CLG thinking about baiting Baron. It wouldn't be an incorrect play, it would just be a dangerous one. They can't exactly burst down Baron as of yet.
TSM.
They have a Lulu and a Tristana, which Tristana puts out a lot of damage, but they can't burst it.
They push in, looking to zone people away.
Let's see, mid lane fight. TSM's Siege is not that good because of the CLG wave clear from Huhi and Stixay, the Lulu and the Jinsu's Tristana. So neither team can really siege against one another. The Caitlyn traps prevent sieging on their own turrets, and the wave clear prevents sieging on CLG turrets. Dragon is going to spawn in 30 seconds. Everyone's summoner spells are up, so whatever fight happens next, it's going to be a good one. Let's see. Echo stealing blue. Gragas recognizes that blue is being stolen, rotates over, and steals it back. Really good play from Haunter to recognize what was going on. CLG has a pink ward in that brush, obviously not spotted out, but Haunter knew. That was smart from Haunter, and that's probably the last time I'm going to say that this game. Top lane is pushing in favor of TSM. Fight in bot lane. CLG decides we have to bait Baron now. I'm not sure what led them to that decision, because Kindred is still near mid lane. They don't actually have vision of Kindred. They don't have vision of most people on TSM. TSM is pinging go towards Dragon, but now they're pinging Baron. So TSM knows this Baron is happening, but Double Lift and Yellow Star are way too slow to recognize what's happening. Free Baron to CLG, and let's watch the fight. Darshan, one on the back line. Lulu ultied, gets the kill. Okay, ultimate. Double Lift doing work. Stixay trying to do work, but Double Lift is objectively doing more work. So let's break down this team fight, shall we? So let's look. I'm going to start pausing it whenever I feel. So Aphromoo burns his ulti right there. That's really important because it's not being used offensively. He's using it to run away, to not take as much damage, and to not get chunked down. Svenskeren and Bjergsen, two ADCs, are dealing as much damage as possible to the support. Meanwhile, Baron is still dealing damage to Xmithy. Huhi is now starting to feel the hurt from Bjergsen in that big one rocket. Here comes the teleport from Gragas, and, well, to be frank, Darshan is pretty late because he wanted to get back to his own base and get those home guards. Right now it's 4v4. Let's see, Haunter is there. And Caitlyn is sure to bring up the rear. This allows TSM to just collapse back onto that Echo, especially with that Stixay ult being used to disengage. Stixay pushes them at the Echo. So this gives Svenskeren, Haunter, Bjergsen, Yellow Star, and Double Lift free reign over this Darshan. Unfortunately, Svenskeren ulted, which means Darshan is not going to get bursted down and die immediately. However, CLG, hold on, I just want to see how many crits Stixay gets on that Gragas. Because Haunter goes from like full health to nothing. Watch Yellow Star and Svenskeren. Yellow Star takes a lot of damage from Stixay. Ultimate comes out. Another crit. Yellow Star is basically 0 health. Svenskeren, really low. And that ultimate from Yellow Star is doing a decent job of zoning away Stixay and Xmithy, who it looks like he flashed away. Let me double check that. So, actually, it's a flash in from Aphromoo. This yellow thing is Aphromoo flashing in. Aphromoo gets double knock up, Bjergsen and Haunter are in threatening range to be knocked back. Bjergsen smartly flashes away. Aframu has the exhaust on Bjergsen. However, Yellow Star is already dead. Svenskeren is trying to run away. Doublelift has to kite backwards, and Haunter is now basically 1v5. However, Doublelift is still far enough away, and he is actually... Look at this headshot. Jesus Christ, that is a cool particle. Anyway, headshot is going straight for Stixay. It hits him. Doublelift is dealing damage to the damage dealers. That should not happen. Stixay is a little bit out of position, but all's well as ends well. He uses heal, he jumps over on Bjergsen, who is full health for, like, no reason. Let's see, Aframu, who is ultless, is just being pounded on by Doublelift. And Darshan ults back in, gets damage down onto Svenskeren. Svenskeren actually credited with the kill on Aframu. Stixay flashes away from Bjergsen. Now, Stixay and Bjergsen, that duo cannot happen because Bjergsen does not have Valkyrie. Now we have Darshan and Svenskeren together. It's basically a 4v3, or rather a 3v3. Stixay took himself out of the fight. Or am I forgetting someone? Haunter is still in it. Haunter is on the front line being pounded on by Hui and Xmithy. They don't have any auto attack damage. They only have ability power, so it's going to be really hard for them to take down Haunter. Haunter continues to survive. Xmithy tries to flash in on Doublelift. He stuns up Doublelift, but Bjergsen puts the damage back on Xmithy. Xmithy dies. Darshan now effectively 1v4. Flashes away. Flashes away. Jesus Christ. And TSM, seeing the opportunity, they take the free mid turret. I think they take 2 turrets here. So overall, poorly played team fight from CLG. Pretty decently played from TSM. Also allows him to take Dragon. Not stolen by Darshan. Traps tells Stixay to fuck off. TSM taking advantage of a bad positioning error from CLG. CLG gets the Baron, but here's the replay. They don't walk in one by one. They more or less just get caught in the fight one at a time. Like Darshan right here. Bursted down. Aframu goes in without ultimate. Gets bursted down. Well, not really bursted down. He's just on the front line without any tank stats. Stixay flashes away. Doublelift's ultimate. Hold on. This is actually really cool. Let's slow this down. Alright, maybe a little too slow, but Stixay jumps over on Bjergsen, who's dealing a fuck ton of damage. Auto attack actually hits Stixay from Doublelift. Stixay flashes over, but he still has vision of Stixay. Doublelift attempts to ult Stixay, and that would have been a kill, but Xmithy flashes forward for the stun and stops the Doublelift ultimate, thus making sure Stixay stays alive. And still one of the biggest pet peeves in the history of League of Legends that I have, Caitlyn is using her ultimate in the middle of a team fight. Really fucking stupid. Like, I understand why Doublelift would ult Stixay. Like, that's a free kill, basically. But he doesn't realize he still needs to auto attack people. Now imagine if Doublelift spent 2 less seconds channeling ultimate and 2 more seconds auto attacking Darshan and Xmithy. Darshan would have died a lot faster. I mean, Xmithy would have died a lot faster. Darshan might have actually died, and CLG probably could have pushed a little further with that. I mean, TSM could have pushed a little further with that. So misplay by double lift right there. Really fantastic awareness from Xmithy. Like, that is amazing. Like, I'm not sure if he was just flashing forward because, oh shit, there's the ADC, or if he was flashing forward because, oh shit, he's ulting our own ADC and we'll get a kill. But either way, it's fantastic awareness from Xmithy to recognize double lift is in the open, flash stun. And then because TSM went back, CLG gets that free turret.
So now the overall Baron power play is plus 1,000. The net result of going for that play in the first place is CLG looking pretty good. But it's still
TSM,
incredibly close game.
CLG.
Control back and forth.
It's so tense.
Oh man.
After that tower take, CLG decides to
Because I'm just
3-man the mid lane.
Look at that kind of damage. It just required 3 auto attacks from Stixay. Hit it again. Let the dragon buff hit it.
Rank 2 Dragon allows sieges to be fantastic from CLG. They get the mid tower. They have Baron 2.
Stop.
They're just fumfering around the map.
They can just try
They go back.
jungle. Recall.
Skipping ahead, skipping ahead.
that.
Not much of real note here.
Lulu, so he's a Rage Blade up on double lift's Caitlyn.
And 2 levels.
And 2 levels and a level 18 Lulu.
Yeah.
So his positioning in the fights is
And they're just talking about how ahead Stixay is over double lift.
COG wants to take the championship.
Double lift used its ultimate on someone within the 5 seconds that I skipped.
Is that DPS?
Might be important.
No matter where he is on the map, always
Let's see, Dragon isn't going to be up for a while.
try and harass.
But TSM wants to rotate to try to catch up. Darshan, he has a Guardian Angel though, so even if they kill him, he's not going to die.
Recalls, but look at this Darshan hoping to buy some time. Svensker and
Darshan trying to stop recalls so CLG can push.
push in the mid lane.
However, the 2 AD carries are back in time. Here comes the anti-siege. Teleport in, hold on. Teleport in from Darshan, who he is already here.
How much damage now can see?
It is now 5v3 at this turret. Braum is not there, Kindred is not there. Neither will be there for a while. Darshan got caught by a trap, decides to fuck off.
Explosive charge.
They decide to get out of here.
He's got to watch out. If Monster flashed for that one, he would have gotten him. Man, Caitlyn traps are just so
And that's a waste of a teleport.
defensive sieging. Able to stall them out there, even though they had an extra few
So waste of a teleport from CLG right there.
on the bottom side of the map. But a crucial defense there from
Great traps from double lift, and I don't know why this isn't skipping forward now.
Clear, which was kind of telling Stixay, yo, go.
There we go.
Trap positioning by double lift, and he seems to always have the
Let's see. Baron and Dragon spawning at the same time.
CLG didn't really do any counter. Darshan back. Rapid fire cannon's done for him, so 70% crit core.
Vision is still kind of in favor of CLG. They have some deep wards
Deadlift working on his next
on TSM's side. TSM has some deep wards on CLG's side.
approach 100% crit. So the
Baron and Dragon gonna spawn soon.
yeah. Neither player
Zion is split pushing bot. 4v4 in the mid lane,
these marksmen.
which is exactly what CLG wants because they don't want Haunts or Disengage to be there.
He'll be having a field day with his Lulu support. And again, gets whimsy, looks for
It's like CLG wants to peel back to take this dragon.
Juggertrist because they have no QSS. They have no. Oh, he does have a QSS. Never mind.
yeah.
He can do that. He should be doing it more. I think.
Darshan is really fucking scary.
Aggressive and
Iceborne, GA, super tanky.
Imperial and
CLG get the free dragon. I mean, there's nothing much you can do about that.
So literally, it's just the mark
TSM decide we should pressure Baron.
extremely aggressively.
Super risky considering the 2 Guardian Angels. They think they might be able to burst it down. They have enough consistent damage. Here it comes. Haunter teleporting into the fight right in the middle of everything. Right on the front line of TSM versus CLG in this team fight. Darshan does not have teleport and must run there. He's relatively close to begin with, so if CLG peels back, they can do this. Aphromu ultimate down. He flashes forward at the same time. Bjergsen valks away, so he can only catch out Svenskeren, who, and in the replay further they explain, has Kindred ultimate. So Svenskeren goes into danger, he puts down the ultimate, Afromu still on the front lines, uses exhaust on double lift, but double lift isn't really doing damage right now anyway. He has to still walk forward to try to deal damage. A little bit of a waste of an exhaust. Slight misplay. Afromu dies. But Darshan and Xmithy have their Guardian Angel still, who he actually had to ult himself, so now Darshan cannot get this ultimate. Darshan, however, gets the stun onto Yellow Star. Stixxay is still dealing auto attack damage, but Darshan is taking a lot himself because there are 3 ADCs on TSM's side. Stixxay manages to get the kill, and this is where it gets really insane. Just watch Stixxay here, and I'm going to slow this down. The crit from Corki brings Stixxay to sub 100 HP. Insanity. If Stixxay dies right there, TSM wins. Stixxay did not die. Stixxay uses heal, continues the lifesteal on Haunter, while Darshan distracts the other people. Darshan sees Stixxay super low, decides, I need to peel for this asshole. Double kill for Tristana. Darshan gonna lose his thing, actually uses his ultimate, hits nobody with it, but that doesn't matter. What matters is Stixxay is still alive right here. And now Darshan is in a position to fuck up everyone on TSM. Who he is not really. Xmithy is a spider. Darshan does not have ultimate, but he has Guardian Angel. Bjergsen flashes forward, gets the kill on Tristana. This allows Darshan to try to go for Bjergsen, but he manages to kite back enough. And this Guardian Angel, everyone crowds around it. The 3 ADCs crowd around the Guardian Angel instead of chasing these other kills. Allows Xmithy and Huhi to live. So overall, great fight from TSM. They just had a better position in general. CLG took a fight that they really couldn't have. Huhi kind of puts a little pressure bot. I think he expects them to try to match them, and here comes a fight again. That line of traps, though, look at that. There are 5 traps across there. Teleports coming in, Afromu taking the brunt of the damage. He tries to do what he can. Yeah, Sven can pop the ultimate. Thank you, Kobe. Huhi has to ult himself, then flash away just to survive. Stixxay trying, yeah, he deals as much damage as he possibly can. Haunter almost gets the kill. And then Baron is taken from TSM. So free Baron for TSM. But how well do they use it? Haunter, super fucking tanky, gigantic Vandal Gragas. Let's see. TSM tries to take their advantage mid to try to push. Unfortunately, Stixxay has insane wave clear, and Elise's Guardian Angel is still up. So it's basically going to be a 6v5 whenever they go, or wherever they go. And Tristana, Mercurial Scimitar, can't be stopped. Has jump available, has ultimate available. Doesn't have flash yet, but then again, only Double Lift and Yellow Star have flash for TSM too. Gold is basically smack even once again. TSM trying to push. They have a decent split push right now, but they choose to throw Gragas towards that mid lane in order to go for this inhibitor turret. It's not a bad move. Keeping Darshan out of these fights, should be more of a priority than trying to put Haunter into the fights. That bot lane is going to push for TSM, but it's going to take a little while in comparison to a Caitlyn pushing forward. Haunter gets a little bit caught out here, a little bit of damage down. He's a gigantic tank with a lot of sustain. He's going to be perfectly fine. See, just pushing forward a little more. At this point, when I was watching live, I was like, CLG, please, for the love of God, just let this go. It's only an inner turret. But they try to defend it, and they can defend it for the most part. A lot of poke comes down onto Aframu, though. Xmithy still walking around the front with his Guardian Angel. They clear it out. Look at those traps from Double Lift. Perfect traps from Double Lift, ensuring that CLG cannot engage, and then they just take the turret.
Alright, wow, look at that. Plus 4,000 gold now from the Baron power play. TSM have equalized the turret score.
Gold's still practically equal.
Actually, or something close to that.
And then TSM back off. Baron is over. Baron no longer can help them push. They kind of had to back because of that wave in top and because their Baron was ending. So it's not like they could have extended the siege to the bot inhibitor turret. So smart move from TSM to back off and recognize that they won't have the strength to continue their push. 44 minutes in. 44 seconds. Great song by Megadeth. Highly recommended. Anyway, pushing a little forward. A lot of decent wards from TSM. They have deep wards. They're, I don't know for the most part where people on CLG are, but I mean, they're more or less preparing for this next dragon. They kind of want dragon number 3. This is going to be a good dragon for them because it's move speed too. It looks like they're also trying to set up a Fnatic brush to try to catch someone out. Pretty sure that's unsuccessful. Bjergsen pushing mid, just stating obvious things. That's what I do. I'm an analyst. Dragon comes up. TSM can just turn and take this dragon right now. They have Haunter ready on that teleport in the base. Like, if you look at the minimap right now, Haunter is in the base. You look right up here in the top right-hand corner, Haunter has teleport. He wants the home guard teleport so he can make some sort of engage. But this is where everything goes wrong. Zion Spartan's Guardian Angels back up. Teleport is coming in onto a flank ward right behind the red buff, right back here. Kind of back here where my mouse is. It's behind the dragon, and all TSM really need to do is focus down the dragon, use Haunter to push them away, kind of scare them away. Oh, wait, dragon's already dead. So now, TSM, all they really need to do is run back and defend. I mean, they don't need to take a fight, but they see Haunter's on the engage. Haunter has home guards. Haunter want fight. So Haunter comes in on all people Aframu. Haunter engages on Aframu of all people. Haunter proceeds to take a lot of damage from Stixay. Ultimate from Haunter does nothing because Stixay, and I swear to God, this is the jankiest skill in the game. This fucking jump from Tristana. Like, I don't know when it's right or wrong to jump as Tristana, but it buffered enough that, just watch this bullshit. He throws out the ultimate. Stixay sees the ultimate, and because he channels his jump before the ultimate's pushback actually takes effect, he still gets his jump off. And that's an actual thing with Tristana. If you use your jump before any form of CC hits you, then you still get your jump. So Stixay now out of the fight instead of right here on the front line where everyone can turn on her. At this point, TSM should say, shit, we didn't get what we wanted, let's leave. But instead, Haunter continues forward onto the tank Echo with Guardian Angel. Haunter takes a fuck ton of damage. Has to use the Kindred Ultimate. Kindred Ultimate now down. Tank, X-Smithy, and the tank Darshan still have Guardian Angel and are relatively healthy. Stixxay is still auto-attacking from the outside. Huhi takes a shit ton of damage right there. Huhi pushed out of the fight. Darshan kind of pushed out of the fight. Huhi can't do much, but still has ultimate, still has flash. Aphromoo decides, I got him. Svenskeren no longer has ultimate. This time, when Aphromoo initiates on Svenskeren, it's a good idea, because Svenskeren does not have the Kindred ultimate. Svenskeren, flash knocked up, lots of damage coming down, barely flashes this Elise stun. Look at that flash, barely out of range of that. Yellow Star already up in the air, ultimate goes off, Darshan, they focus him down right here. Guardian Angel. Keywords. Darshan is dead. Stixxay actually used his heal to save Huhi and his ultimate to push Svenskeren away from himself. Right now, Stixxay dealing a decent amount of damage to Yellow Star and Bjergsen because of his auto attacks by the Jinsus. Flashes forward! He is... Jesus Christ! That is the most aggressive play I have ever seen in NALCS. He flashes forward onto the Braum and the Corki. Corki does not turn it. Corki continues to run. Yellow Star exhausts him. And now Darshan is back with a vengeance. Let's see. Braum gets knocked up a little bit. And at this point, it's super chaotic. Nobody knows what they're doing. Haunter says, shit, I got double lift. He uses his flash body slam, but now he's between 3 rocks and the hard place that is CLG. So Haunter goes down right there, and he starts giving the resets. Yellow Star shield is down because he just used it over here when double lift flashed forward. Not double lift. Stixxay flashed forward. Stixxay jumps over. Look at her happy little face. She is so happy to be killing people. Look at this motherfucker. She's killing that guy. This guy is dead. Yellow Star is dead. Stixxay, now with Lulu ultimate shield and speed buff, jumps over, kills Bjergsen. 1 auto attack. I have no idea what happens over here, but that shit doesn't matter because TSM could not get to Stixxay. TSM basically threw themselves into a situation where they would get the fuck kited out of them. And at this point I was screaming at my TV because the game was over. And CLG wins despite having a gold deficit. Now if we go back, and although I did just do a breakdown step by step, why the fuck is it all the way back here? Yeah, CLG wins. Anyway, Dragon goes down. Double lift doesn't have a line. Haunter decides to engage. They can't take this engage to begin with. Stixxay is out of the fight. At this point, TSM should say, back up. Just back the fuck up. But they don't. They continue forward. They think, you know what, let's kill their tanks. Let's kill Darshan. You know, he has Guardian Angel. Let's pop his Guardian Angel. Haunter still taking a fuck ton of damage from this Stixxay. Stixxay is right behind his Darshan, exactly where he needs to be. Like, forget about these guys over here. The fact that Stixxay is still putting down damage is the problem. Haunter gets out. Haunter takes the heal. Aphromoo flashes forward onto Svenskeren after his ultimate is already down. And at this point, like, chaos. Chaos. Ultimate comes out from Bjergsen, the Rockets. Ultimate from Yellow Star. They think, alright, let's kill Darshan. Darshan has Guardian Angel. If they didn't back out at the first moment, they should have backed out right fucking now. Darshan is dead. Or rather, is reviving. Haunter is low. Svenskeren is low. Sure, you have 2 of your ADCs at full health, but what does that matter when your front line is about to die? TSM, please, for the love of God, disengage while you have 3 seconds of safe haven while Darshan is dead. But instead, watch this. Stixxay flashes forward. Darshan's still dead. These guys, like, away from the fight. Everyone on TSM should have converged. Haunter, and it is not clear if he has his body slam up. And I doubt he does. But at this moment, 2 seconds later, it is way too late to get the re-engage onto Stixxay, because not only was Bjergsen already running away because of so much damage from Stixxay, but also because Yellowstar's shield ran out. He doesn't have any utility to protect you, Haunter, and it is Haunter's greed right here that ends the series. That right there from Haunter. Yellowstar attempts to go back in with him, but Haunter is already 1v3. Yellowstar decides, this is a lost fight, let me run away. But it's too late, here comes Stixxay. He's jumping and hopping and skipping and flippity flopping, and you know, that's Tristana. GG, game over. TSM loses. And you know, it's funny how in the Liquid versus Immortals, they say, like, you know, Lorlo's a rookie. He obviously had some nerves. He was tilted. But they forget Haunter is also a rookie. He obviously had some nerves. And that last fight, he got way too greedy. He went for the kill. And Haunter, I hate to say it, but it is 100% your fault that that last team fight was lost. Thank you very much for watching this Scoot VOD review. Thank you very much. CLG taking the victory. CLG all day, every day, forever and ever. Amen. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me and my friends on Facebook. We're setting up a podcast. It's going to be about esports and video games. We talk about the Division, you know, Dark Souls 3. We talk about League of Legends, Counter-Strike, all that good shit. Once again, thank you for watching. This was Scott Scoot Belmont with another VOD review, CLG versus TSM. I'm out.